Welcome to Don't Talk to Strangers, a true crime podcast. We are your hosts, Hannah Elizabeth
and Kate Mitchell. This is a place where you can find true crime tales, morbid mysteries, and all things spooky.
We are two scousers with a true crime and red wine passion. Expect wine reviews, a few howls, and much more.
Our podcast does include graphic content and explicit language. Discretion is advised.
So grab a Betty, it's about to get heavy.
We're back, baby.
We're back. Oh, she's got the new hair. You got the new hair.
Upgraded. Well, not I say upgraded, but like I was just done with the cowboy copper.
Yeah, I like it.
I like it. I'm back to the dark side. Long.
Dark side.
And you've got your gorge red. I've said to Hannah she needs to go this permanently, but
I'm Jessica Rabbit for a little one night only, babes.
And I feel like it could be a permanent thing.
Yeah, like doing different personas. Oh my god, we have both had.
Sorry, yeah.
Like the lack of, you know, true crime and red wine. And
you go first,
no red wine.
and then I'll explain why I'm
fuming. Yeah, we're literally fuming. Basically, was in London this morning. I had meetings, missed me train. Everything's gone wrong. Like literally, I've snapped my nail right down there. I'm in agony. Like literally can't do anything. Everything went wrong. You know, just like the big snowball effect was stuck. Then I was stuck in traffic. Ran out of petty. Like just one thing after another. Like I just can't wait to get in bed. Turn my phone off.
Yeah, I need to eat.
I'm going to eat mac and cheese on a tray with legs. I don't even care. Like that's a slob in bed. I don't care. And watch The Jungle and turn my phone off.
Good.
And start again tomorrow.
Well, my day was fine. And then leaving the office to then the blankets that we use. Hannah's dad, we think, because he's a legend, has tidied everything away and put them in the loft, we think.
With the Halloween deckies,
so I was like, right, I'll go to Asda. Runs into Asda. Get it was the last two as well, by the way, so it was made up.
Oh my god, you know when I got them the first time, it was the last two?
That's good, that's stuff on our side. So then I was like, wine. So I go to the wine aisle. Get chicken wine. Now, if you know, you know, right?
If you know, it's all about the chicken wine.
But I got the red version because I don't think we've had that.
We normally have the blush rosé, but it gets you. There's something about it, right? It gets you rotten.
I think rosé wine is dangerous,
but the chicken is lethal. Like if I have a bottle of chicken, and it's quite like little, isn't it?
Yeah.
If I have a bottle of chicken, I'm a goner, but it's fit.
Well, I thought I'll buy the red chicken and we can have this conversation.
My mate raves about it. Mikey says it's nice. Yeah.
£9. As so that was going to be our review.
We were this close.
Didn't have ID. Gets ID. Now, to be fair, is a compliment. Like I was just looking at him, and
but
I
it's
was like,
human when you're in a rush and you're like, oh,
I was like, I needed to get here, and I was just like, oh, for fuck's sake, mate. So then I was like, not a problem. Left Asda, got the blankets, and I was like, I've not eaten all day. So I went, I'll go to the Mackey's drive-thru and just get a double cheeseburger and eat it while I'm driving. Get to the till, pays for it, and they go, you're going to have to park.
And were you like jammed in, like you couldn't get out then? You're like in
I have to go in the main car park. Because the 3 car parking spaces. So I was like, and I just looked at her and I went for the cheeseburger and she was like, yeah, sorry. So I was like, fine.
Doesn't even fill a gap in
wasted 15 minutes and it was like a stamped bat. It was like they put it together and done that with it, right?
What's a stamped bat?
Like imagine a bat on the floor and you stamp on it and it was all mushy. That's what it was like. So that wound me up. Then I had to drive to the co-op to get the wine. They didn't have the red chicken wine. Oh, did they? Is that what I picked up? I didn't buy the red chicken wine, I bought something else. Gets to Hannah's.
Well, you must have done because it was the chicken bottle.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
So I got the chicken wine again. So another, got there, gets to Hannah's, front door, drops it.
At the front door, so I've opened the door and she's got a face on like...
And Hannah's like, hey babe!
And it's all over the floor.
Yeah. So, sorry to your resin driveway.
I've been KB'd as well, and for real, and I'm like, I don't know, because I'm haggard, like, I'm confused.
Internally, I'm like, yes.
No, I'm
but
haggard.
But at the same time, it's like, mate, I am clearly not 18. But anyway.
Jobs, mate.
So Hannah's on the T, I'm on the DC.
Yeah.
Hang on. ASMR. Oh, yeah.
What's that like?
I'm having a Diet Coke.
It's weird, isn't it? Yeah, so no red wine today, but I think it's quite good because I've been drinking loads. I've been out loads, events and that. So yeah, no red wine, just mac and cheese and tea.
Yeah, so we're all up the wall, but we're here and we've finally done it.
We're
We're
here.
recording again, episode
Do you
4.
think that bit of blanket needs to go over the green
but
bit?
I can't move. So if you can
Sorry.
see bits of green or bits of
Can we just
orange,
talk about this quickly as well?
I hate
like,
it.
the
Hate me life.
seat, right? We want to get, well, I'm going to get for this room anyway, like a little couch or something. This is a nightmare. So they're like the bean bags. So we actually had these exact bean bags in Love Island, and I'm not joking. When you sit on these bean bags, you cannot get off them, can you?
No, in theory, it's a great idea to sit on beanbags and like record.
I don't
but
think it's
in,
that comfy.
They're not. And when I'm on the camera,
You
10-ton
think,
text
yeah,
like that. Like, no. If people who know me know that I'm in hell right now.
And you can't move off the friggin' bean bag.
No. But we are back doing what we love.
I hope this is hiding my like haggard neck.
Oh, sure.
Because when I watched it the other week, well, I seen the clip, my neck was Deirdre.
Deirdre Wallow.
I need it like, right, so what were we doing?
Sorry, so we are... My laptop's frozen, hang on. We are doing Ed Kemper,
Oh, okay.
the co-ed killer.
Okay.
Okay.
Wow.
So,
He is an absolute one.
I know, and it's a longie. So, should we get right into it?
Let's get right into it,
So,
hon.
grab a bevy.
It's about to get heavy.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Right. Okay, so...
Oh
Ew,
my
that was
god,
dead
the
cheesy,
Ed,
I'm sorry.
the Ed.
I know.
Sometimes I get Ed Gein and Ed Kemper.
Kemper.
I get the stories mixed up because they're both Eds.
You'll know he's the one who hates but loves his man. Oh, they both did.
Is
They both, like, loved
Is
the
he
man.
like the co-ed killer, the one where he sat them up?
No, we did that in the last...
I get them mixed up.
That's
Right,
the Gainesville Ripper.
Oh, okay.
We will redo the Gainesville Ripper.
That was
loved,
crazy.
I loved the Gainesville Ripper.
Yeah,
Anyway,
that was a madness. Go on.
so Edmund Kemper. Edmund Emil Kemper III,
Oh, okay.
often referred to as the co-ed killer, is one of America's most infamous serial killers.
Yeah, wow.
I need to change that intro because they're all America's most infamous serial killers. But that's
Yeah.
what they say online. Anyway, responsible for the murders of 10 people,
God.
including his grandparents, his mother, and several young women.
Sorry, I know what one this is.
I knew you
oh
would.
my God.
I knew you would.
Brace yourself. Brace yourself.
This has happened between 1964 and 1973. Kemper's brutal and calculated killings, combined with his remarkable intelligence and cooperation with the law after his capture, made him a central figure in criminology and psychology studies. I'm going to refer to him as either Ed, Edmund or Kemper, by the way, because I can't remember. When I write these notes, I change it up, sorry. So, just so you know.
Edmund, okay.
Let's go. Edmund Kemper was born on December 18th, 1948, which made him a Sagittarius.
Oh, a Saggy.
So I don't. Are they good? I mean,
I've had an ex who was a Saggy.
oh really? Well,
Did you hear that?
car went past.
I thought it was like a big train.
He was overcompensating for something.
Yes, Saggy.
Well, he was
Nuts.
born in Burbank, California. His childhood was troubled, marked by family dysfunction and emotional neglect. His parent, Edmund Kemper II, and Clarnell Stanberg had a deeply strained relationship. Clarnell was reportedly a domineering and emotionally abusive woman, particularly towards his son. She belittled him constantly, often calling him stupid and worthless. Can we have phones on silent, please?
Sorry, is that yours or mine?
I mean, it shouldn't be fine.
I don't know where mine is. I can't reach it, and then I can't move.
Oh, look at the green.
I can't move off
Yeah,
the chair
don't
because...
move. It's fine if we hear the phone.
Sorry.
We hear the phone.
Fuck.
Where was I? She was a domineering and emotionally abusive woman, particularly towards her son. She called him
bitch.
stupid and worthless. Kemper's father was a World War II veteran, and he abandoned the family when Kemper was 9, leading to even more toxic environment at home.
Oh, and then he was left with her then.
I know. And obviously he divorced her. After the divorce, Kemper was sent to live
How could you be like that to your son?
with his... Well, I know. Well, he was now obviously living with his mother and his 2 sisters, Helena and Montana. Clarnell showed little affection towards him and forced him to live in the basement out of fear that he might harm his sisters. The isolation, combined with his mother's verbal abuse, caused deep emotional scars that would later manifest in Kemper's violent tendencies.
Yeah.
Kemper began to harbour deep resentment towards his mother and hatred that would ultimately drive him to his most notorious crimes.
What, like he become a bit obsessed with?
Oh yeah, let me tell you.
Yeah.
Even as a child, Kemper displayed disturbing behaviours. He tortured and killed animals.
Oh, it's always, it always starts, well, not always, but that
very
is
often,
a big sign, isn't it?
An early sign of psychopathy. He also engaged in highly inappropriate sexual fantasies, often imagining acts of violence against women, and developed a fascination with death. By the time he was a teenager, Kemper's dark fascination turned into the desire to kill, particularly those he had felt had wronged him.
Ooh.
So the early signs of violence I just went into a little bit was animal cruelty. Trigger warning.
Like, I'm sorry, but if you can hurt, like, a
No.
little animal, yeah, you're an absolute psycho.
He killed his family pets on multiple occasions.
What?
At 10 years old, he buried a cat alive. Later digging it up and decapitating it and mounting its head on a spike.
Oh.
No. He killed another cat with a knife, claiming it favoured his sister over him. She was getting jealous.
Over the cat?
Of the cat, yeah.
Whoa.
He then developed a fantasy life. He
developed red flags.
all day. He developed an early fascination with violence and power. By the age of 8, he was imagining brutal scenarios where he murdered people. His fantasies often revolved around killing women, reflecting his hatred of his mother, which I've mentioned a little bit. He also played macabre games.
What's macabre?
Macabre's just another word for like gore, morbid, like you've got a fascination in the macabre.
Gory.
We have a fascination in the macabre.
Yeah.
Kemper would force his sisters to play games such as gas chamber or execution. I'm laughing because it's not funny, but
what you have to do in the gas chamber? Like,
he just acted out his own deaths, but like made his sisters do it. Like, it's quite bizarre, but
proper.
At school, Kemper was withdrawn, shy and awkward. He struggled to fit in due to his size. He was already over 6 feet tall by his early teens and had a dark, unsettling personality.
Oh, so
he was
pure
big
tall.
Fucker. Yeah.
Oh, but normally that's like a good thing.
I know.
Being that tall.
No, but his height didn't
like
really matter because the child of hail. No, I'm crying. He was like 9
His feet
foot.
were sticking out the end of the house.
Oh yeah, I'm crying. Sorry, I've lost my place now. I love when you come up with these random things. He's like the child of hail. Anyway.
I didn't say it like that. Sexy.
So, at the age of 15,
yeah.
After an argument with his mother, Kemper was sent to live with his paternal grandparents, Edmund Sr. and Maud Kemper, on their farm in Norfolk. Well, it's North Fork, California. I read it as Norfolk.
Yeah,
it's North Fork, California. Okay. This relocation did little to improve his mental state, as he felt equally isolated and resentful living with his grandparents. His grandmother Maud was strict and critical, reminding him of his mother, and their relationship quickly soared and escalated into a downward spiral. On August 27th, my birthday, 1964...
Your birthday?
Well, not the year.
I was going to say he's not your birthday.
No. Mine's Egeen.
Okay.
Egeen's my birthday one. We're just that self-absorbed. Every time there's our date, we're like, my birthday! In 1964, Kemper's rage boiled over. During an argument with his grandmother, he retrieved a .22 caliber rifle that his grandfather had given him for hunting. He shot his grandmother in the head, then repeatedly stabbed her after she was dead. When his grandfather returned home from running errands, Kemper shot him as well. He stated his reasoning for killing his grandfather was to spare him the trauma of seeing his wife's body.
Yeah.
I mean, what a favour, but don't kill someone.
Yeah.
Just say don't come in. Or don't do it.
Yeah, I kind of pretty much thought he's going to do the granddad here because he's going to see
it's
this
in his
now.
nature.
It's definitely in the nature.
After
So we started now.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
After the murders, Kemper then called his mother, who advised him to contact the police.
He told her?
Yeah, he said, look, hello.
Hello,
you've got to remember,
I've killed
he is
granddad.
15 at this stage. After the murders, Kemper called his mother, who told him to call the police, which he did. When officers arrived, Kemper calmly confessed to the killings.
Yeah.
During questioning, he stated that he killed his grandmother to see what it felt like.
Sorry, I keep putting in, but I'm just already thinking, how's he gone on to do the rest if he's rang them and said hello?
Hello!
Yeah.
I've done a murder.
Kill me nan and what?
Well, I know. He didn't, to see what it felt like.
Oh.
And his grandfather, because he didn't want him to find out, as I mentioned. Due to his age, Kemper was declared criminally insane and sent to a state hospital, a maximum security facility for mentally ill offenders. Right? Now, while at hospital, Kemper was diagnosed with paranoid schizophrenia.
Oh God.
Through this diagnosis, though this diagnosis would later be challenged, he underwent extensive psychiatric evaluation. For fuck's sake.
Extensive
He underwent an extensive psychiatric evaluation and was considered highly intelligent with an IQ of 145.
Well.
Kemper quickly became a model inmate, displaying a cooperative attitude and helping staff with various tasks, including administering psychiatric tests to help other inmates. His deep understanding of psychology allowed him to manipulate his evaluators into believing he had been rehabilitated.
Oh, eh?
Where's
this come from?
Because he's a clever bastard.
Yeah, but he didn't really know that.
No, but it'll ring a bell when you remember on Manhunter. I got to mention that, and he's like, "Well, my theory is," he's like, "How big dope?"
Yeah.
But clever. Anyway.
Yeah.
At the age of 21, after serving 5 years, Kemper was released from hospital in 1969.
No way.
Despite the warnings from some psychiatrists who believed he was still dangerous. The California Youth Authority paroled him into the care of his mother, who had moved now to Santa Cruz, California.
All right.
His mother, now working as an administrative assistant in the University of California, Santa Cruz, continued to verbally abuse him, exacerbating his feelings of anger and resentment.
And what, she was just kind of like, oh yeah, you killed the nan and granddad.
It weren't her mum and dad though, it was the paternal. So,
No,
but
it's
still,
like
it's not
wild,
the point. It's not the
that,
point.
isn't it?
It's not like she's like, oh well, it weren't mine. But yeah.
I know, but it's just a bit like wild, isn't it?
I know.
Okay.
After his release, Kemper struggled to integrate back into society. He attended community college and held a variety of jobs, including working for the California Department of Transportation. However, his relationship with his mother continued to deteriorate, fueling his violent urges that he had kept dormant during his time at hospital. Because you've got to remember, he's like faking it.
Yeah.
So he's faking
like
it.
dying to.
Yeah, and he got out and he's like, I can't
it-
keep them in.
You know, it is the Mars fault, really, this one, because...
Well, in 1972, these urges erupted into a brutal killing spree that would claim the lives of 6 young women, and
my
eventually
God.
his mother and her best friend.
I won the bestie.
Mary Ann Peace and Anita Lucchesa were the first known victims of Kemper after his release from the psychiatric hospital. On May 7th, 1972, the two 18-year-old college students were hitchhiking in Berkeley, California.
Don't do that.
Kemper posed as a friendly driver, offering them a ride, claiming he was heading in their direction.
Yeah.
Now, there's a few things in life that are like facts.
Yeah.
Death, taxes, and if you go hitchhiking, you're gonna die.
Oh yeah, you're gonna die.
Do you know what I mean?
Well, I just don't know why anyone.
But then it was normal. We can't.
And he's terrifying looking, isn't
No,
he?
he's ginormous, but
And I think I can remember what he looks like.
yeah, I
He's
think I
terrifying.
mentioned this. I hope I do. Someone found that was like comforting because he was like a big lovable giant. He wasn't
Really?
like. Well, I might have just read that, but I'll see.
I just don't know why you'd get in like a fella's car like that.
No, I know. Don't hitchhike, guys.
No, defo not.
Get Uber.
Uber.
Once they were in his car, Kemper drove them to a secluded area from their intended destination. In that remote
They always do that.
I know. In that remote location, he attacked them with a knife, stabbing and strangling both young women to death. This was the beginning of his pattern of killing young women and dismembering their bodies. Kemper took their corpses to his apartment where he dismembered them. He later disposed of their remains in various places. Only part of Mary Ann's body were found by authorities.
What do you mean he was taking them to his house?
He took them to his house to like chop them up and then was dumping them.
Yeah.
And they only found parts of Mary Ann's body, and Anita, whose surname was Lucchesi, as mentioned before, she was never recovered.
Oh.
I know. Aiko Koo, a 15-year-old high school student and aspiring dancer, was hitchhiking to a dance class in Berkeley on September the 14th, 1972, when she encountered Kemper. She accepted his offer for a ride, trusting the 6'9" man. 6'9".
No, that makes it worse.
Because of his appearance and demeanour, and he did not appear dangerous. That's what I mean. I think if he was like, hello, nice to meet you.
Yeah.
You'd be like, oh, what's he going to do? Child of hell.
Oh, like, you reckon he like actors on it?
Yeah, I think he was being all like, hi, I'm just driving this way. Like, he's not good looking. He's not like got a cockiness about him. He's just like, yeah, a bit gimpy.
Yeah, a bit gimpy.
Gimpy's not probably the right word.
A bit soft, yeah.
Well,
no, he wasn't actually, was he?
No. After driving for some time, Kemper took her to it. Is that on?
It's not even giving nothing on.
Kemper drove her to a desolate area. He tricked her into crawling into the back seat under the guise of
Silence of the Lambs.
Under the guise of fixing a stuck seatbelt. Once vulnerable, he strangled her to death. After killing Koo, Kemper drove her body back to his apartment. There he engaged in necrophilia with her corpse before dismembering her, further showcasing the gruesome nature of his killings. Like the previous victims, he disposed of her remains, scattering part of her body in various locations to evade discovery by law enforcement. Sorry, this is making me pure baby.
I need to like put my hand over there. I look like a weirdo, but it's freezing.
Pardon me.
Oh.
Okay. On January the 8th, 1973, Kemper picked up Cindy Shaw.
Oh, Cindy.
Fab name, that.
Cute, yeah.
A 19-year-old student at Cabrillo College. She was also hitchhiking near Santa Cruz. Kemper had refined his methods Sorry, those who can't see, I just said methods with a F. Refined his methods by this point, and instead of using a knife, he shot her in the head with a .22 caliber pistol to quickly incapacitate her. He then brought her body to his mother's house where he lived and kept her corpse hidden in his room overnight. The next day, while his mother was at work, Kemper meticulously dismembered Shaw's body in the bathtub. He had done this with his previous victims. However, what set Shaw's case apart was what Kemper did with her head.
Wait there, the mum is at work?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm forgetting that he
lives at home with his ma, yeah. So all this time...
How did he, like, just get away with this?
No, I know.
Is she just, like, away with the fairies?
Yeah, but Jeff did it with his nan, remember?
I know. But...
And she was going, those smelly bin bags. Like, I'm sorry. Do you know what I mean? Like, you're just mad. You wouldn't get away with nothing these days, let me tell you. Especially with my ma, she'd be like...
I know, what's that smell?
I know. And, like, if you think about, like, you know, if you dye your hair or... Like, at the minute, I'm using blue shampoo to get, like...
Yeah,
you know,
it's all in the shower.
It gets everywhere. Or, like, wash and tan off. Ladies. I mean, I don't think there's any men here, but...
And gentlemen.
When you wash and tan off, it goes everywhere. So when you... Blood. And you've got to rinse it off.
Yeah.
Anyway.
It's a massive job, that.
But... Just let me start that again. What set Shaw's case apart was what he did with her head. He buried it in his mother's garden, positioning it so that the face faced his mum's bedroom window. So she was like...
No, he is not all right, you know. He is not well, is he?
Not well at all. In his later confessions, Kemper revealed that this act was symbolic of his deep-seated hatred and rage towards his mother, who he blamed for many of his personal and psychological issues.
She was an absolute cow, wasn't she, the mum?
Kemper described this gesture as a way of symbolically taunting his mother.
Like, ha, what?
Yeah. Exercising power and control even in her absence. The thing is, though, the mum was a fucker, but like...
Yeah, obviously.
But... As far as we are aware, there was no physical or sexual or violence.
Yeah, she was just horrible.
But emotional abuse is as equally as bad. It is, it's so damaging.
Like made him feel...
It's so damaging, but...
Unloved by his mum.
But I think, again, this is the perfect... He was born unwell.
Yeah.
And
then
she's
that's
exacerbated it to...
Yeah. It's not helped that.
She was an asshole.
And yeah, he
the dad
didn't
gets
feel
off.
loved.
I know. On the night of February the 5th, 1973, Kemper picked up 2 University of California Santa Cruz students, Rosalind Thorpe and Alice Liu.
They've all got nice names.
I know, 'cause back in the day, like,
I know.
people had nice
They
names.
did. Hey, I know where this story's going and it's proper fucked, isn't it?
I mean, kind of, but yeah, they're all fucked, but...
No, like, I'm
A little bit.
Yeah, I think it is. This one.
They were hitchhiking. Unlike his earlier victims who he had killed outside of his vehicle, Kemper shot both of the women while they were still in the car. The close-range headshot instantly incapacitated them, allowing Kemper to avoid struggle. So he's obviously, remember I said before, he's like, I used to stab and strangle them, then he was like, I need to shoot them. But when they're outside, there is a film on this, and it's awful, and I will try and find it. And like, when they're trying to get away, and it's heavy.
What, it's a shocking...
It's like awful. It's like one of
like
the old...
a shit film.
It's shit, but it's awful as well. Like, to watch. Cause,
Oh,
like,
really?
Like, you're like,
I thought you meant like it's pure, like corny.
It is, but it's also like when you put yourself in their position and like trying to get away and like they're looking at each other and he's like... Anyway.
Yeah,
Anyway, he incapacitated them, allowing them to avoid a struggle. After the murders, Kemper drove their bodies back to his mother's house again, hiding them in the car. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm Burpee McBurperson from that Diet Coke. Apologies. Hiding them in his car before sneaking them inside later that night. He then decapitated and dismembered both women, continuing his practice of mutilating his victims post-mortem. He disposed of their remains by scattering them around different parts of Santa Cruz, and parts of their bodies were later discovered by hikers. The brutality and efficient execution of these murders demonstrated Kemper's growing confidence and skill as a serial
he's
killer.
like getting kind of like, he thinks he's getting better at what he's up to. So you know these mums, they mustn't like ever go in their room, must they? My mum always like was like in and out my room. They mustn't go in
but
the room.
I think that's a family thing. Like, my mum and dad wouldn't go in my room, really.
Wouldn't
like,
they?
my mum would go in to put like washing on the bed.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
But she wouldn't like go rooting or like, she
like
wouldn't be
she'll
opening my wardrobes and
she'd
stuff.
put something in or like...
Yeah. I mean, we haven't really had to hide heads and dead bodies and stuff, to be honest. So...
I know, but it just baffles me.
Now, Kemper's final victims were far more personal. His own mother, Clarnell Strandberg, and her best friend. For years, Kemper harboured deep resentment, as we've mentioned, towards his mother, whom he described as controlling, belittling, and emotionally abusive. On April the 20th, 1973, this rage reached its peak. After coming home from a party, Clarnell was sitting in bed reading when Kemper entered her room. Without warning or saying a word, he bludgeoned her with a hammer and slit her throat.
Oh my God.
After killing his mother, Kemper further mutilated her body, decapitating her and removing her vocal cords. He placed her, because obviously you remember...
Yeah, she was always...
The verbal abuse.
Oh my God,
The verbal
that's
abuse.
heavy, that's pure deep set, that, isn't it?
Heavy. He removed her vocal cords.
He's been thinking about pulling them out for years.
He will have fascinated about that, being like, I will get them.
One day, you shut up.
You mark my words.
Ah.
He placed her severed head on a shelf and spent hours upon hours screaming at it.
Oh my God.
Sorry,
Kate.
that just
I know,
makes me laugh because it's like, obviously that's awful, and like, for him to hate someone that much, what he's gone, but it's just the picture of him being like, screaming at it for hours and hours and hours and hours.
Isn't it?
He was venting his anger that had built up over the years.
No, wait, as well. Sorry, warning, trigger, everyone.
I mean, the whole thing's a trigger warning.
This is what I was, when I said earlier, and I was like, babe, I was like, this gets really fucked up, and you were like, eh.
Well, no, it is. The whole thing's fucked up.
No, I know, but no, right. I am sure, because it always sticks in my head that it's either him or Ed Gein, but because he had the hatred.
Ed Gein didn't kill his mum.
He loved his mum, didn't he?
Yeah,
Like,
he didn't kill her.
obsessed.
She just died.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure, because it's always stuck in my head that he cut her head off and he raped, like...
Well, it wouldn't
the
shock
neck
me.
or the head. Or
It wouldn't
I
shock
don't
me
know how
because
that was
he's already
right, but
shagged
the
the
neck.
bodies of the
Yeah,
other girls.
well, I'm sure he shagged his mum's head, and he put it on a
Yeah, he placed it on a severed head. I can't fucking get rid of it. Severed head on a shelf, threw darts at it,
threw darts at it,
and spent hours and hours and hours screaming at it.
shagged it. What the honestly, that always sticks in my head like that. Is a madness, isn't it? That's why I was like, hey, this gets bad fucked up. And I'm sure this might be wrong, this might be something I read, but I thought he put it on a spike and put it somewhere like the cat.
No, on the shelf.
No, I'm on the shelf.
Just on the shelf. You did that with the cat, but
not the
this
man.
one's on a shelf.
Wow, like that has always stuck in my head. Like that's mad, isn't it? It's
Bad.
like pure, like
no, awful.
Power. Do you know what I
Awful.
mean?
Mm-hmm. Like, think about how many times he's fantasized about doing that.
And he thinks he's took like a complete power back over it. Wow, sicko.
After this disturbing act, he hid his mutilated body in the closet. Later that day, Kemper invited his mother's best friend, Sally Hallett, to the house. Weird. Presumably to prevent her from discovering the gruesome scene. When Hallett arrived, Kemper strangled her to death. He stored her body in the closet along with his mother's remains before fleeing the area. After murdering his mother and Hallett, Kemper fled to Pueblo, Colorado, driving non-stop for 18 hours. Once there, he expected to be the subject of a massive manhunt, but after hearing nothing on the news about his crimes,
You're joking?
Kemper decided to turn himself in. On April 23rd, 1973, he called the Santa Cruz police from a phone booth, confessing to the murders of his mother, Hallett, and the 6 other women. Initially, the police thought it was a prank call, as Kemper had been friendly with local enforcement officers and often socialised with them at the local bar. After he persisted, however, they realised the confession was real and Kemper was arrested without incident. During his trial, so this is a bit more like trial and aftermath. During his trial, Edmund Kemper's cooperation of the authorities and his detailed confession left little room for doubt about his guilt. Psychiatrists who examined him found that he had severe personality disorder, characterised by antisocial behaviour, paranoid traits, and had extreme hostility towards women, particularly his mother. However, despite his profound mental health issues, he was deemed legally sane and capable of standing trial.
Yeah.
Kemper's intelligence also played a significant role in his trial. With an IQ I mentioned before of 145, he understood the legal process and even expressed remorse for his actions, though it was mixed in with chilling detachment as he recounted the murders. Kemper pled not guilty by reason of insanity, but his detailed descriptions of the murders, coupled with his cold and methodical approach, led the court to reject his defence. During the trial, Kemper revealed that much of his rage and homicidal impulses were directed at his mother, whom he described as emotionally abusive, domineering throughout his whole life. He claimed that killing her was the accumulation of years of pent-up anger and hatred, and he acknowledged that the other murders were essentially practice for the final act of killing his mother.
So he was always wanting to do that.
I know, but
He was building up to it.
you'd already killed your nan and granddad.
Oh yeah, true.
Like,
was
what
like
much...
practice,
I mean, you
isn't
shouldn't be killing anyone, but if you're going to practice it, you've done it twice.
Yeah.
You don't need to kill 6 other women.
It's like he was...
I think that's
putting it on.
bullshit. I think that's bullshit. He just wants to kill people because you weren't well.
Yeah.
On November 8th, 1973, after a 3-week trial, Kemper was found guilty of 8 counts of first-degree murder. Though his defence argued for an insanity verdict, the jury rejected it, largely due to his clear understanding and the nature of his crimes. Following his conviction, Kemper was sent to the California Medical Facility in Vacaville. I'm saying that wrong, I know I am. Where he remains to this day.
Oh, shut up.
I love that when you get shocked that they're alive. I get all excited. Like,
Shut
let's
up.
write to him.
How old would he be then?
I don't want to lose. I can't remember what years he was born in the 60s, 70s. No.
Oh, I can't make that out.
I don't want to lose my space. I'll go remind me at the end and I'll find. I can't remember. Sorry, I've lost my face.
I feel like
But yeah,
someone
really remains
needs
to
to
this
go
day.
and like do one of them chats with them.
No, they fully have. Like, he's the one that like speaks openly and will go, yeah, I'll do interviews. And
Don't think I've seen like a doc though.
are you
I've
sure?
read about him, but I don't think I've seen like, you know, I might have seen a documentary about him, but I haven't seen him. Love that when you see what the hell? When you see
When you see them saying it, yeah. Remarkably, Kemper adapted to his prison life, much like he had adapted to his life in the psychiatric hospital. He became a model prisoner once again, using his intelligence and cooperative nature to integrate himself within the prison staff. Over the years, he has taken on various roles, including working as a prison librarian and helping to transcribe books into Braille for visually impaired individuals, and participating in interviews with psychologists and law enforcement to provide insight into the mind of a serial killer.
No.
Yeah.
It's almost as if when he's like in these, he like likes it.
No, he loves it.
When he was in his, you know, his thingy hospital as well, he was like the model.
Dead helpful.
Yeah.
I mean,
wasn't very helpful when he wasn't in there, was he?
And it wasn't helpful to hitchhikers, let me tell you. Kemper's willingness to talk about his crimes and his psychological state has made him a valuable resource for criminologists, forensic psychologists, and even the FBI. His interviews have been instrumental in understanding the psyche of violent offenders.
Wow.
And he has been unusually candid about his motivations, mental state, and methods. Kemper has expressed regret for his actions, though his calm and methodical way of describing the murders often contradicts genuine emotion. Because if you have remorse, you wouldn't be going, yeah, and then I got a vocal cord.
Yeah.
Put in the garbage.
Plug.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He has stated that he wishes he could have received the death penalty, as he believes he would have been a more fitting punishment for his crimes. As I've mentioned, he's left a significant legacy in the fields of criminology and psychology. His extraordinary intelligence, willingness to cooperate, and his detailed confessions have provided researchers to a real glimpse. Oh, for fuck's sake! I haven't had a bevy, and I can't speak. Have provided researchers with a rare glimpse into the mind of a serial killer. Kemper's case, along with others like Ted Bundy and John Wayne Gacy, helped shape the FBI's development of its criminal profiling techniques, particularly in understanding the motivations and methods of a serial killer. Now, I've mentioned he's calm all the time, so his calm demeanour has also been the subject of numerous documentaries, books and television shows. He's been featured in true crime series such as Mindhunter, where his character is depicted during interviews with FBI as they work to develop the psychological profile of serial killers. His ability to articulate his thoughts and describe his crimes have made him a subject of morbid fascination in popular culture. Us too.
Can't believe he's still going him.
His case has led to a deeper understanding of how childhood abuse, neglect and toxic parental relationships can impact the development of violent behaviour in some individuals.
Definitely.
Kemper's case also sparked debate about the treatment of violent offenders with severe mental health issues. His initial diagnosis of paranoid schizophrenia was later disputed, and many experts now believe that Kemper suffers from a combination, which I mentioned before, of personality disorders, including antisocial personality disorders and narcissistic personality disorder.
Yeah.
While he was considered legally sane, his psychological state remains a topic of discussion among experts who study the intersection of mental illness and criminal behaviour. Kemper has been eligible for parole multiple times, but he has consistently waived his right to a hearing.
Oh, really?
Stating that he does not deserve to be released. He has told interviewers that he understands the enormity of his crimes and believes he should remain incarcerated for the rest of his life. His lack of desire for freedom, coupled with his cooperation for authorities, has only deepened the public's fascination with this case. Because that is mad.
He doesn't...
I mean, I doubt the parole board would ever let him out, being honest.
No, surely not.
Mad. Like, he's
got... That he doesn't want it.
Yeah,
that's what I mean. It's almost like, you know, he's
it's contradicting.
Comfortable, and maybe he feels that he doesn't trust himself.
Yeah, 100%.
If he goes out there.
Ed Kemper's case continues to be studied as a prime example of the development of violent tendencies in individuals who suffer from emotional trauma, neglect and abuse. His high intelligence and willingness to reflect on his actions have provided psychological insights. Now, conclusion. Ed Kemper remains one of the most notorious and disturbing serial killers in American history. His brutal crimes, combined with his high intelligence and willingness to cooperate with law enforcement, have made him a key figure in the study of criminal behaviour. The relationship with his mother, the abuse he suffered, and his manipulation of psychiatric evaluations highlighted the complexities of his case, raising the important questions about the nature of violence, mental illness, and the capacity for rehabilitation in individuals who commit extreme acts of brutality. Kemper's story serves as a chilling reminder of how childhood trauma, psychological disorders, and unchecked violent tendencies can culminate in acts of unimaginable horror. His legacy continues to shape our understanding of serial killers, and this case will likely remain a focal point in discussion about criminal psychology, the justice system, and the treatment of violent offenders for years to come.
Yeah, it's mad. I mean, I do feel sorry for him when he was a kid. I do.
And that is why
we don't talk to strangers.
Or hitchhike.
No, definitely not. Yeah, I do feel dead sorry for him when he's
No,
a
but
kid.
I said this last week.
It's
I
like,
think
oh.
you're allowed to feel sorry.
Yeah.
It wasn't last week, it was the
At the
Eileen
time.
one. You can feel sorry for like the young them and what they went through, but I think he knew exactly, like, yes, he's mentally unwell, but he's contradicted so many, like, you
clever.
can be mentally unwell and not in your body and not know what you're doing. You don't then deserve to be put in the same box as him. If that makes sense.
He
Knew
he
exactly
knew,
what he was doing.
100%.
He's gone, don't let me out there, my
Yeah,
mate.
yeah, yeah.
He's also been able to
And
manipulate.
he's helping, and the fact that he's helping them now is mad, isn't it? Like,
It's sick.
He's pure clever, and
Yeah.
he's sitting down and pure
Yeah,
giving them the insight.
I know, but
Yeah, it's a madness. It's definitely come from the mum though.
yeah, no.
The hate for
and it
the
just
mum.
shows that people think that emotional abuse or verbal abuse isn't as bad, but it can be so much worse as well.
Yeah,
Like,
of course.
especially at like, a young age, like neglect is
Oh, and
so
it's
like detrimental
Yeah.
to the human psyche, as well as obviously I'm not downplaying sexual and physical and all that, obviously not, but emotional and verbal is like equally as bad.
Oh my god, 100%. I mean, I really don't like the mum, but you know, he was obviously a pure freak, but
yeah, our Ed, 6'9". When was he born?
he was a
Saggy. 1948. So he'll be about 70 something. I can't do the maths.
oh god, no. Oh, I just can't get over it. I thought,
No, he may be more. I'm nearly 80.
I'm gonna
How
have to
embarrassing.
YouTube. I'm like talking.
Honestly, there's a film, and there's where he gets them in, like where he gets, I think it's the first two, and it's awful because like they kind of get away and then he kind of gets them. And
the co-eds then?
co-ed is what you're called when you're a college student.
College, okay, yeah. That's why at first I thought you meant the one who
Gainesville,
yeah.
No.
Okay.
But we were, like, honestly, I know we've said this before, but basically we did some really good cases. Season one.
There's actually some really good
so
ones.
we will redo them.
Like the Scream one.
Oh, yeah.
That is such a good one.
And then we did like a stalking one.
And
we
I feel like
a
people
survival
don't know,
story.
yeah.
Like
and there's a local one.
oh, yeah. What was his name? Brian Blackwell.
Oh my god.
Brian. So yeah, so we will redo them at some
100%.
point. Because they were really, really good.
They were good.
But if you listen back, it's shit. So
Yeah.
But yeah, that's why you don't talk
Well,
to
that
strangers.
was a nice bedtime story.
I know. I feel like I flew through that. Sorry if I'm speaking too quick. Every
we
time.
forget to slow down.
I know. And that stutter, and I'm like, and I think slow the fuck down.
Well, that was a nice bedtime story, and now I can have me mac and cheese.
Oh yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get home, pick the dogs up, and then I won't cook. I might not eat. Even if I just sleep. No, but if I sleep, I'll just wake up.
You're joking, no starving.
But I did have a double cheeseburger.
So that's like a snack.
Anyway, but if you are interested in following us and finding out more information about our podcast,
Yay!
please follow us on at Don't Talk to Strangers Podcast. You can email us at don'ttalktostrangerspod@gmail.com. You can listen anywhere you get your podcast, and obviously we're now on YouTube. Yeah, I think that's everything.
Yeah, amazing.
Yeah, so
Thanks for listening and watching.
yeah. And yeah, I was going to say see you next week, but it's not next week, it's every other week. If no one's got onto the pattern yet, it's every other week, every other Sunday. But then let's see if we stick to it. But
Yeah.
we are being
Oh,
strong.
we will. No, we are.
Being strong.
Yeah, don't say that because we are.
Okay, yeah, sorry. But yeah, thank you so much, guys.
Thank you.
See you next time.
Mwah.
Bye.
Bye.